لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. It's day 8 in the first Sundays of Dhul Hijjah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I hope we have not just been conversing here. You've been taking tips, right? You have been enlightened, making you getting closer to Almighty Allah. Today is another topic that we have outlined to align with the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. We cannot talk about first 10 days without talking about the sacrificial animal. What about it? Maybe you can just slaughter any animal. No, we are guided though. Let's give you this sound bites. Let's hear what people are saying about the sacrificial animal. Then we'll be back to engage our ustaz in the studio back shortly.
Brethren, these are days of sacrifice. We make sacrifice to Allah. Sacrifice in all ramifications. Look at slaughtering of animal. With the contemporary situation here in our country, as expensive as things are, then you coughing out huge amount of money to buy an animal is a great sacrifice. And as the name goes, what are you buying? You want to sacrifice. You want to buy a sacrifice and make sacrifice to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a sacrifice, and a sacrifice that comes with a huge benefit. Allah said, "Fiha khair." There are a lot of goodness in these forests.
Àkọ́kọ́ ni pé Ọlọ́run kó ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ ní rọ̀rùn. Kọ́lọ́run má jẹ́ kọ́bẹ̀ kálukú wa ó sílẹ̀. Ẹni tó ń pa tẹ́lẹ̀ kọ́lọ́run ṣàánú fún kó má jẹ́ kọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ kọ́sẹ̀ dàkú pé kókò ní rí ẹran pa. Kí àwọn ìdílé tí ẹ má bàa dìdílé onídìílé níjọ́ ọdún. Ojúṣe bàbá tó wà nílé ni kó sapá kó sàsẹ̀ láti paléyá fún òun láti fi ṣe ìjọsìn fọ́lọ́run àti fún ìdílé ẹ̀. Nínú palẹ̀mọ́ léyá ní kí ọkọ kó mójútó ilé, kó raṣọ ìyàwó, kó raṣọ fún, kó rà fún àwọn ọmọ táyé ẹ bá yọ, kó rẹran léyá táyé ẹ bá yọ, kó fi ṣẹ̀sìn fọ́lọ́run. Kó ṣe pé torí kí afẹ́pẹ̀rán jẹ kọ́ ìjọsìn ẹran léyá wà fún láti fi ṣe ìjọsìn fọ́lọ́run. Kí inú kálukú ó lè dùn, kára kálukú ó lè yá, ká lè tìtorí pa nẹ́ran yẹn ara ilé wa lọ́tùn ló sì tán pa kàrán ti fún wọn.
The sacrifice we normally make during the Eid al-Adha period, in fact, it's a Raman to us, because if Allah commands us to be killing our children, we don't have any option. But killing of ram is a Raman. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen for that. Now, when you are about to kill the ram, you have to be patient. You have to be patient because they are women like us. You cannot just kill the ram anyhow. That since you have the authority on it, you have to know that is a way of killing the ram.
We should always be patient and have faith in Allah that whatever we are looking for, Allah will do it. We should be, especially in this period that everything is tight. Whatever our husband give us, we should have patience with it. We should manage, and we know everything cannot continue like that. By Allah's will, Allah will, and from our patience, you see that whatever you put in place, Allah will suffice it, because Allah is marvelous.
Ẹni tá pààrọ̀ bá wá sí fún kó má owó túláàsì tipátipá a kì í yáwó pẹ̀ràn léyà.
Let's enjoy this happy day. Eid Mubarak, come on, let's celebrate.
It's a few days to this year's Eid al-Adha. While many children eagerly await new clothes and warm meals with family members, some are silently waiting for hope. In Nigeria, over 18 million children have lost one or both parents. They face poverty, hunger, and uncertainty every day. These orphans are not just numbers, they are lives waiting for compassion from you and I. With your donation this Eid, you can bring light into their lives. With just 10,000 naira, you can feed and clothe an orphan, giving them a chance to smile. A meal, a new dress, a smile, and a reason to believe in tomorrow and humanity, courtesy of you. Eid is a time of sacrifice, love, and of sharing what we have with those who have not. During this Eid al-Adha, don't let them be forgotten. Let your giving be their celebration. Because when you give to an orphan, you give to Allah.
Kindly donate a minimum of 10,000 naira to Zakat and Sadaqah Foundation to feed, clothe, and orphan.
Be the reason why the orphans smile.
You're welcome back. The program is First and this is the Hijjah, and we are focusing on sacrificial animal. And talking about sacrificial animal, our partner Zakat and Sadaqah Foundation has done so well in the past years. They not only give out rice to the needy, apart from their core duty of disseminating and sharing Zakat and Sadaqah to people. Every Eid al-Adha, they also engage the poor. They feed the poor. In fact, they have taken it a step further this year. You remember that even on our table, we always host the orphans among the family get-together we do yearly. We've done that in 3 seasons now. But we decided to take a break today, but I must also commend ZSF for doing similar thing. They are also, asking you to support that cause so that they can feed the orphans during Eid al-Adha. You can also support them. So sacrificial animal is what ZSF has also been sharing to a lot of people in this season. What is it about sacrificial animal? Join me again to welcome to the studios of Ames Media Company Limited. Doctor is also an allergy. Multiple, serial one. Mustafa Adebayo Bello. Salaam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
You say you have been to her 7 times now, so it's not sure if I ask the question and a serial allergy.
Well, that's the title coming from you.
Sacrificial animal is the focus.
Yes.
So what about it?
The sacrificial animal is one of those elements of the Eid al-Adha that signifies the originality of Islam as a religion. In Surah Al-Hajj, it was mentioned that the one who named us Muslim was our great-grandfather, our progenitor, Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. So this sacrificial lamb is a symbol of worship, which Islam has institutionalized as a form of remembering the great exploits of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu and his struggle with all the travails of life. The story has been told severally. I'm not even our viewers, they know the story of how he was without a child.
Of the prophets, our storyteller.
We told our children how he had lived for several years, up to 100 years on earth without a child. And he was ardent in his prayers to Allah to give him a righteous child. And eventually the child came. But because the life of Ibrahim had been a life of trials, Allah had taken him to himself as a friend. So Allah wanted to try him, whether Ibrahim will give out the most priceless thing God has given to him back to him. And Allah he had a dream where he offered that child, the only child he had at that time, to Allah in sacrifice. And dreams of prophets are realities.
They're like revelations.
Revelations. And he struggled with it at the point in time. He made up his mind that he would have to do what Allah asked him to do. And that was at the time the child had become grown up. And informed the child. Just as he has prayed for, when he was praying for that child, he said he was looking for a child, a righteous and a forbearing child. And that was what happened. That's one of the lessons we have to learn. when you're
from
asking
this
Allah
season.
from any,
Exactly.
ask for the good, the
A
best
righteous one.
from Allah. So he asked for a forbearing child, a patient child, and that was what Allah gave to him. So when he told the boy that I'm going to sacrifice you, he said that if Allah tomorrow, do whatever that your God has commanded you to do.
Okay.
And the wife also cooperated, and it was about doing that when it was clear to Allah that it was about fulfilling that, that obedience. Allah said, why? It is enough. You have intended, and you have shown the manifestation of wanting to carry out. Don't sacrifice your child again. Then a ram was brought in ransom, and he offered that ram, killed the ram, and sheared the ram. So that symbolic event was what Islam was trying to reenact on a yearly basis. An event, an act of obedience to Allah, worship to Allah, and selflessness. And that's why we do it every year. Yeah.
Interesting. Let's look at the characteristics of this animal. Can it just be any animal that we sacrifice?
No, it's not any animal. It's, the ram, goat, sheep, cows, camels. And it must be for those categories, what I call the ram, the sheep, must be 1 year old.
Not less.
Matured, not less than 1 year old. That must not be deformed in any way. Whether in the horn, for the ram that has horn, whether in any parts of the body. It must not be deformed.
What's the wisdom behind that?
The wisdom is that when you want to offer God anything, it must be the best of thing.
Tell you.
Yeah, what is the best? You must do. You don't also want to get deformed reward. So whatever you are offering to Allah must be something that is wholesome. And it must be good. And that's why it must not be deformed. And that's why we are warning those who are selling and those who are even buying. Don't use ram for fighting. It's cruelty. On those animals. Don't use them to fight. You know, people do it, but it is not right. It's not fun. People do it for fun. You are maltreating, you are inflicting harm on those animals. And Allah does not want that. That's cruelty to animals.
Okay. They must not be deformed. But you know that for the buyer may not know. That means that you must source for your animal from knowledgeable people.
Yes, and you must also examine, scrutinize.
I mean, you said to a veterinary doctor,
for instance, if a child has one eye, you will know now. You don't need a veterinary doctor to tell you that.
Yeah, that's what you physically say. Much of the...
You know, it's about physical that we're talking about. It's about physical. If it has what they call, logged legs, you will see now from that the leg is not fine enough. So, and you are using your money. You must examine very well.
Okay, now, Doctor, you know when we talked about zakat, Nisab has gone and stayed for the prices of ram.
Yes.
How do we correlate this with the encouragement that every adult should slaughter?
It's about affordability.
Okay.
And you should weigh it against all other responsibilities. It is not that it has to be done compulsorily if you can afford it. So, and you should also weigh, like I said, weigh it against all other responsibilities that are much more important.
Doctor, it's easier said than done. A family man who's been known to slaughter rams year in, year out, and you are now weighing it, you're telling the children, sorry, home front, no ram today, and all of that, you know. Let's practicalize it.
Yes, we can practicalize. I think what we are saying is this: don't take a loan because you want to take a ram. Because if you take a loan, the ram, because look at it. There's a verse in Surah Al-Ayah that says, "Lan yanala Allahu luhumuha wala dima'uha walakin yanaluhu taqwa minkum." The meat of the animal does not reach Allah, neither the blood. Allah does not have a need for it. It is the taqwa, the God consciousness with which you have sacrificed those animals. So for that reason, while it is good for those who have been doing it over the years, and that's why we should also pray. In fact, today is the 8th day. Let me tell you what I do sometimes years back. I buy my ram on the day of Eid when I'm returning from Eid.
Or even the second day.
On the second day, on the third day. So if
Because
it's
you
so expensive now,
celebrate.
you can wait till after the Eid or the second, the third, or even the fourth day.
Okay.
This Ayam
Tashriq.
Tashriq. You can still slaughter when the prices would have gone down
Reduced a
considerably.
bit.
So that is what we are saying.
Okay, you see, let's relate this to the zakat we talked about earlier, or observing society to know those in need. If a man, for any reason or the other, is now out of job, and shouldn't the community or the society or the ummah assist such person by probably donating a ram to the family?
Well, because it's not an obligation.
Okay.
That may not be right. It's because it's not an obligation that he has to do. If he couldn't afford it, nothing has happened. He has not committed any sin.
Okay.
But we're only saying that, just like what said SF is doing, on the day of Eid, people cannot afford. You share meat to them. The Quran talked about al-Qaniya wal-Muta. Al-Qaniya are those persons who over the years they have been slaughtering. But this year, for the circumstances of the economy, they are not able. So extend to them
because the
on that day.
Be so moody.
So that day, these are the people who we classify as al-Qaniya. Those people who are well contented. They won't ask you for ram, but you know they need it. So extend to them. And there are those who will ask you, who will demand. They will even start, maybe by now, they are not even reminding how far, don't forget to, I must collect to. Those categories, you must also extend to them.
But you see, no, that is now the wisdom behind the sharing formula.
Yes.
But we will be talking about that. Let's go for a break. We went to the ram market, yes. So Trust Ames Media. Let's go for price survey. How affordable are they? Aisha, over to you. Let's feel the sound bites from the ram market.
We have markets on the ground, we have materials on the ground, but we don't have people coming to buy it as much as it has been before because of the strike and the imbalance of the economic of the country. So we are still expecting much customer to come in. But I believe what happened is that because of no cash, low salary, and all those sort of things, because if you go to market, things have the price of things have gone up. So some people to come now, they have to calculate it, they have to arrange. So I think that's part of what caused the market of has no function as it's supposed to be.
Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ra àgbẹ̀ ọjà bíi ló sì bùjù ẹran 70 wà ẹran 80 wà bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ màlúù 150 gan ẹ̀ rí lọ́dọ̀ wa ń bí bẹ́ẹ̀ rẹ̀ fi oní 300,000 wà ẹran ìjọra bíi ló sì bùjù.
Wow, so the price of the cow, wow, they are big.
Yes, you can see the one of 700,000, 600. You can see this one like 800. This one black one you can see at the rate of 700, and so on. This one you can see at the rate of 750 because it's more bigger than that black one. So if the customer have to come here, you can even reduce the prices for them. That is it.
So like this year's price, is it the same as last year's price?
It's the same thing. So the prices has gone up because of the economic imbalances, because the transport has increases.
So as last year, how much did you sell this massive car?
You can see the one we sell like 800 now. You can see buy it as last year 400, 450, 500. But this year now has gone up because of the changes, increment in the price of the transport. So that is what caused everything. The economy is not stable. So.
But very soon there will be patronage. You are sure of that?
Inshallah, there shall be patronage.
Thank you very much.
I got this one for 450. Ram is a little bit expensive, but may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just bless us, and we should just I don't know what to say here. But for what I see, I've been trying to get some rams some other places, but here I think it's a little bit cheaper.
How would you compare this year's price to last year?
The difference is about, let's say, almost 75-80% increment, because it's a little bit it's seriously expensive this year.
You are welcome back. You see, like Doctor said earlier, there's magnanimity. If you can't afford ram, there's goat. You can come together and do sheep, cow, and all of that. Now sharing formula. Because in the magnanimity of Almighty Allah, that knows that everybody cannot afford. If you are able to afford the sharing formula, how about that?
The sharing formula is this: you share into 3 parts. Give one to people, and people who are that I've mentioned in Alconia, those who will not ask you, but who are in need for it, and those who would demand, are the second category of people. And the third is for yourself. You also share it amongst your own people, your close members. People talk about in-laws. Yes, there are people that in the festive seasons, you must extend the goodness that you have to them too.
And your families, your siblings who are not able to.
You don't have, but we should not use ram or the meat of the ram as exchange. I have slaughtered one now. A friend of mine has also slaughtered. I give to him, he gives back to me. It shouldn't be like that. We are saying that those who cannot afford it.
You know, earlier I was saying the home front is moody. At the very beginning of this program, we're talking about status symbols. What do you think about people who also use it as status symbol? You slaughter as many as possible, and in fact, they display it and all of that.
Then you are devaluing, diminishing the rewards for it. That's what we talked about. I think in the second edition where we had talked about Riyah. We must run away from it, and that's why we are asking our people this abuse of social media. Don't post your ram on social media, for God's sake.
Make it a competition.
Don't make it. You see, because this is what our people do. Do you know that I have some places, even in Lagos here, though I want to commend them, they even slaughter camels. And you don't find it on the social media. Camels on a yearly basis. So it's about you and your God. Except for those who are doing for what I call documentation
exactly,
purpose.
Or accountability.
Like the ZSF and some other organizations like that.
You want to show
that this work, and also to encourage others to do it. Except for that. But individuals, keep this thing to yourself.
Okay. So we are talking about ram, the meat. How best can we prepare this ram? And when you are preparing it, the health ethics that you must imbibe. We have a sound bite on that. Let's bring it to you.
During Hijjah, we're going to meet a lot of people. We're going to need a lot of things. In our preparation, we know we're getting ready food, pepper, oil, drinks, all this stuff to get ready for Hijjah, and cooking utensils. We should have in mind that accidents do occur during festivities, not necessarily during Hijjah. Accidents, this is what we observe in hospitals. During festivities, wallahi, I used to pray, anytime there's a festival occasion coming, I used to pray that, oh Allah, do not let us have any emergency, do not let us have any accident, because it's easy to have people tripping over hot oil or hot pepper that women have put aside. Hot pepper, hot oil, or your clothes catching fire. We that were adorning hijab, we should dress smartly, not big hijab that fire can easily catch. And then you have to give you hanky-panky going about trying to do that again. Our cooking utensils should be the ones that will make things easier for us. Gas, we're going to use that. If you're going to use gas, please be sure that you put it at a distance from your cooking, from the fire, so we don't have gas explosion. Please, 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 this is very important. We don't want to celebrate the Hijjah with sadness or being in hospitals. These are the things that we should be worried of.
Of course, the counsel is coming from a medical doctor. When you prepare, take precautive measures so that certain things you don't take for granted. Doctor, any final word?
The final word is this. People should understand the basis for sacrifice. And the basis is worship. And that the animals, when we want to kill them, slaughter them, please, if you don't know the ethics of slaughtering, don't slaughter. Ask people who can do it. The Prophet said, if you must kill, make it a good killing. If you must slaughter, make it a good slaughtering. And use a very sharp knife and ensure the animal dies as quickly as possible. Kill them through the gullet so that the blood will flow out. Because if the flowing of the blood is disrupted in any way, it will contaminate the meat. And that's about what we're talking about, healthy killing. So if you don't know how to do it, please call people who can do it proficiently and professionally, so that the animals also will also have least of pains while they are dying. And finally, Allah says in the Quran, so just as I've made those animals subservient to you, you also willy-nilly submit to Allah one day. That is it. That is the message. As we are killing them, maybe I should use that word, Allah will also kill us one day.
We will die.
We will die one day.
Will
So we must also put that in mind. So when we are killing them, we should show empathy to those animals.
Thank you so much. Jazakumullahu khairan. Yes. And remember that we'll bring you the edition of winning your gifts. It's here on each day. We'll show how all our beneficiaries have won their gifts. You'll be invited to the studio to come and collect your gift items, courtesy ZSF and our donors. That is how it's been. To make it a date with us, same time tomorrow, Arafat Day. Are you on Hajj? Hajj Mabrur to all our Hujjaj. Join us tomorrow when we shall bring you Arafat Day from the studios of IMS Media Company Limited. Until then, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.